Niveda, good evening. Thank you for joining today. I'm waiting for people. I think I won't start until a few more people join this session. So just please have patience and let's wait, okay? Just a few more people and then we'll start for sure. I think it's time now. I think it's 5. It must be 4. Sorry, 4. It's 4 now, I guess. Let's wait. Very patient and pretty tense since it's my first time going live. So let's wait for some more time. I'm so sorry, but let's wait. Let's see who all will join now. Alright, 5 people. Some more, and then we'll start for sure. I think this must be the time you people will be having tea, and I chose this time perfectly so that we could, all can join at the possible time because it's Sunday and probably everyone will be taking a nap after lunch. So we had a huge discussion so what time we should be going live, and we chose this 4 o'clock for people to be very convenient. So let's see who else will join and then we'll start with it. I find that I'm equally excited along with being very tensed. I don't know, maybe this is how it feels to have the dreams come true. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about TSU. I'm sure you have heard about TSU, which means the stories from Unicorn. And to talk about the magazine, it's an e-magazine for now, and it's going to be bi-monthly, published twice a month. And what is the speciality about TSU? The name indicates the stories from Unicorn. Unicorn are very mythical creatures, right? So talking about writing, well, it's like very creative, and it's all about people being so passionate about writing, and it's more like creating new magical things. So writing can be compared to magical stuff which flows from our mind and our heart, where it is an overflow of all the emotions. So I think it is very suitable to have this name. So the stories from Unicorn, that's TSU. So this is the name of our publications. And yeah, as I said, this is going to be a new magazine. It is going to be launched very soon, that is July 10th. And what the most amazing fact about this magazine is, actually this is the first ever magazine for teens. Teenagers never had their own stuff before. So the founders of TSU have taken a great measures and such a big step forward to come up with such a great idea to publish magazines for teenagers. But I think it can be read for everyone because we have collected a huge number, or wide range of topics and themes for this magazine. So it never stops with just teenagers. It's just for everyone, and I hope that everyone do buy it and read it, because we have such a powerful, such amazing, talented line of writers working behind this. The editors, they're so great. So it is going to be a great work put forward for all of you, and I'm so happy. I'm really happy to be part of this great magazine that's coming up, and I feel very proud and honored to be part of the TSU Publications. And I really hope that we just reach our success, and hope that everyone would like it for this magazine to be very successful. Yeah. So Today we are planning to have a more of an interactive session, and as I said, I'm one of the writers, and the story that I have written is Pound of Love. You must have seen the trailers and posts today. And yesterday we have been sharing about this and teasing about the story. So today I am joining this live so that people can have a very interactive session with me as a writer, and you can ask me anything you want to. I see the people are keep joining. Hi, Kavya. I think yeah. Hello everyone. Whoever has joined here, welcome to my second live of TSU and my personal first live here. So you can all just ask me whatever you want about my story or writing, how everything is coming up with TSU. Yes, I'll be waiting for the questions. Yeah, you can ask me. You can just add in the comment section so I can read the questions and answer you properly. So I think you got the idea about the teenage magazine that's coming up, TSU, and I hope that everyone like it and will like it. So do ask your questions so we can have a very good conversation. I think many people are just joining right now, so that I can't see any questions so far. Yeah, there are a few people joining now. Let's see. I do have a good network, I believe. Yeah, it's working. Hi Harita. Yeah, to talk about the founders, actually, there are 3 people behind the scene, and a lot of other people like illustrators and everyone. But the person who have the most connection with is our dear beloved Harita. Well, I'm going to say how I came on board with TSU for the first time, and let me share that experience. Okay, I'll answer that question. What inspired you to write the story? Yeah, first I'll share how I managed to have contact with Harita. Okay, so I was having the second semester's exam this last January. So at that time, what happened is I received a message from my best friend. She said that there is going to be this and somebody is going to contact you because I shared your number. And it was at that time that I received the call, and I was like really excited because I always wanted to be a writer. So when I received this opportunity, I was like over the top. I was so happy, and they asked me to share a sample of something that I've written. So I shared them a very short story. So and then on the day of exam, I was just going for the exam. I just had like half an hour to leave for the exam, and I received a call then, and it was from her. Amazing person, and I couldn't hang up because I just want to listen to everything that she had to say. I was like okay, and I was like getting late for the exam, but then I got to know everything. I just didn't hang up at that time. She told me everything, and at the final thing I said was, I'm going for my exam, just can I call you later? And that's how it began. And then I came back. They told me that the story is selected, so they wanted me to write something, choose a genre. So I chose a genre and I started writing. Well, I was never experienced to write an episodic story. I've never done that before. It was my first time, and I had a really lot of doubts while I am doing this one. So I just they never hesitated. The founders never hesitated. I have to say that whatever doubt I had or whatever mistakes I made, she would call me. She would talk to me for a really long time. She would tell me what I should do. And she's also a writer. She has published a book, so she had pretty like she had experience to tell me what I should be doing, so she taught me many things. So I just kept writing the episodes until it became perfect, and that's how I got into TSU. And it has been so good to have, I should say she's more like a mentor to me. She has been clearing my doubts, she has been clearing my mistakes. She would often keep in touch with me, ask me for updates and everything. So it's like, you know, you are on the track continuously and you know what to do. They make sure that you're doing good and you're giving whatever you have, the best in you. So this is how I started writing for this magazine TSU. And yeah, so this is the kind of relationship that I have with one of the founders, Harita. She's a very, very, very great person. And then also with Hira, I've not kept much in touch with the third person, but the second person, Hira, she's also very helpful and often tells us what we should be doing. So I'm very grateful to be part of TSU. Now for the second question I'm asked, what inspired to write this story? Okay. Well, the story that I'm writing is actually a romance, a love story, and the name I told you, it's like Pound of Love. Well, the story that inspired me to write this one is actually it's nothing. Well, I always write love stories. Like I'm like taking a major in contemporary romance. Everything I write is contemporary romance or historical romances. I write many such stories, so it is an easy one for me to concentrate on. Like if it's romance, I'll be doing the best I can. I do try other genres, but this is very easy for me to do. So when they suggested me that there should be an interesting topic for the teenagers to get interested in, I thought, why not romance? And if it's teenagers, why not have a high school romance? So I thought maybe, yeah, let's try one. Let's try writing a school story, like the story of best friends and what happens between them and what happens in the future, what happens between these two friends. So this is how I started writing the story. This is the inspiration, that teenagers are my inspiration, so I wanted to give them whatever is the best I can. So I want them to read this one. So what interests them to read? I thought that maybe love stories interest them to read, so I started writing the story. Yeah. What is your story about? I think I just said that. This is going to be a romance between two people who grew up together, who are best friends, and what happens between them, the kind of relationship they had when they were young and when they become an adult. So this is the kind of story that I'm writing right now, and it's completely romance. So whoever is so into, or whoever loves love stories or love school stories, you definitely should be reading this one. I suggest that. Not just because I'm writing it, but I think it's good. You should read all the stories that TSU has. So yeah. Apart from love, does the plot include a mysterious storyline? Well, I should say not just a mysterious storyline, but I have also tried to include many other major themes into this. It's not just love and love. It has many other problems that exist in the society. I'm just pointing out everything and making it look like very good and acceptable and not very controversial. But I think, yeah, I have included many themes. It could be, as Tashina asked, well, we did learn about all this in our, times, that what kind of suffering has a girl will be going through. So this kind of theme, like a woman facing who's coming from a minority sections, and the kind of families we come from, it's more like a very local kind of themes that I've chosen to put into the story, so it won't bore anyone, and it goes well with the love stories, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's the kind of themes and plot that I've chosen apart from love story in this one. Yeah. So I think we talked about how I joined TSU and what inspired me to write this story and the themes that I have in the story. So yeah, you can ask me more if you have any things you want to know about. Hi, okay, you're waiting. I'm very glad you're waiting, Deepthi. I'm equally waiting for this day. to publish, and I'm really waiting for all the other writers on this magazine who are working along with this. You know what? To talk about the writers of TSU, I have to say, well, the team that's working behind TSU, trust me, none of us have met before. Okay, that is the speciality of us. I mean, each of us are being picked from different parts of India. We are spread across different parts of India. The founders and I come from the same town, but our other writers are all coming from different states, from different parts of India, mostly North India. So that is a speciality. We have only been keeping in touch through calls or through text messages or through Instagram pages, nothing else. We just have the group and chats. So I really hope that someday we all get to meet and interact, have an interaction and keep in touch that way. But I think this is also what makes TSU very special, because it's just amazing to be part of this wonderful people and amazing writers. So yeah, so this is how the team of TSU is like. You want to know if it has a happy ending? How can I reveal that? It has not even started. So I think if you are curious, you should definitely read my story, and I'm really sure that I won't disappoint you. So if you want a happy ending, you should start reading that one, so you'll know what is going to happen. Yeah, you'll definitely love it. So I'm sure you're gonna read that too. I cannot reveal the ending right now because I don't know what's going to be, but let's just say let's not reveal that part. Let's keep that a suspense. Yeah, sounds really great. Let's see what else other questions I have. Okay, so I think more people have joined by now. Hi to everyone who just joined now. Hello Priyanka, thank you for joining. Naina, I'm so happy that all of you have joined this live today. Rasana, yeah, so glad to see many faces here. Thank you so much for joining. So happy to be doing a live. I thought this is going to be a really tense session since this is my first time, but I think this is quite nice, talking to people, interacting about the story. It's really great. Yeah. What are the inspirations behind the interwoven instances? To say that about my story, I did tell you that the main inspiration is for me to do. I have to say that to start with that question, let me say we are in an era where people these days are very much into, watching series, movies and all the stuff. We have lots of platforms that provide these too. So at these times when people are watching so many things, we are slowly saying goodbye to the reading habit. And even if we take our circle, if you closely observe that, we find that we rather prefer watching than reading. So that shouldn't happen, and reading is something that you have to continue with life, because it has so many points where it improves in many ways in your life. So I believe that for somebody to read something, it has to be really interesting, and also at the same time, the movies bring out various genres and they discuss about various topics under the sun. So I always had wondered that do people not read because they feel that everything is just very common, or is it because very boring? But that's not the case. People have to realize that the books or the magazines, whatever stories that is being published, it's actually kind of has the most widest kind of topics and themes discussed. Even the most the ones we feel that we shouldn't be talking about, that is being discussed in books and magazines and stories, and it is the writers who bring such kinds of things into these, create things. So for it to be interesting, we have to be brave, we have to be pretty creative and bold enough to talk about many things. So So by bringing out all these genres or all these themes, it makes people more interested in reading. So whenever you watch something, you have this kind of feeling that, oh, this is nice, this makes sense. So it is just like that. Even you read, you get more knowledge, you get inspired, you have this something that you learn from it. So to have an inspiration from such a thing, you become a successful writer when you do that. So to me, I want to bring out such a change, or I want to talk about things like that, where people often hesitate to, from whatever background people are coming from, or whatever that exists in our society. So it's like, having common topics, or more than having common topics, we just have to interrelate many things and put it in a way that people really read it, people really understand it in a simple manner, and also that it inspires them and inspires the writer. So these are the kind of inspiration that I get for people to read it. I really wish that people read it, so that you put that words in a way that it interests people, and not just as common topics. Yeah, I think that answers this. Beginner's long genre. So basically, what's the funny thing? To me, to start writing, I first think of the ending and just then come to a beginning, how it should begin. So whenever I start writing something, it is really funny, because this is how I used to read too. I just want to know what happens. I will be like dying to know what happens. So whenever I start writing, I'll just imagine how the ending should be, or what are the kind of conflicts that characters should have, the tension the characters should have. So it is very easy to begin a story by thinking the end, how it should end. So to me, when I think that way, it makes me easy, and it makes me think more, it gives me more imagination. So I just start writing that way, and I have been writing a lot of stories. There are a few that I threw away, or some scripts I lost, and there are many stories that I publish online. So to me, the long genres are that difficult, because I've been doing it for the past 8-9 months. So I think I'm experienced in that, gaining experience. Honestly, I'm gaining experience every day to write such stories. So though it is very difficult at the beginning, you just get used to it, because once you know what is going to happen between the characters, you just have to get the flow, or to say that you just have to go on the track, have the interest. So once you get motivated to write, once you know the ending, you'll be like, okay, I want to start the story, I want to end it in a very good manner, so let's just get it started. So I start writing just in one stretch. So for some days I'll be having a writer's block, I wouldn't be doing so much writing in few days, but then once you sit for writing, it's just like an express. You just go on, and just you write a couple of chapters together, so you get your work done. So I think that's how it is. As a beginner and as a person who has been writing for the past year, this is how it happens. Yeah, I think that answers my question. I think it's clear for you, Darshana, I hope. Yeah. Hey everyone who joined newly, thank you so much for joining. Kamya, Sana, Farhad, and Pavan and Dhanaprabha. Thank you so much for joining. So happy to see all of you here. You can shoot away with whatever questions you have about my writing, or if you have read, and about TSU, about what I'm writing for TSU, yes, and also anything you want to ask me about. Yeah. Let me see if there are anything else. Yeah, that answers my question, Darshana. I think you know that. I think you know very well how my writing actually goes, because we have been doing many things together, and you know what time I write usually, right? So I think you pretty much know it. We recently had exams, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. So my friends and I, we used to do a lot of combined studies, and it is after around like 12-1 at night that I sit for writing, because the other times I had to study or we'll have some other works to do. So yeah, and she'll be like, oh my god, you're just going to sit and write right now? Okay, we're going to sleep. So that's how the day ends for me. So I'll be up like 2 o'clock sometimes writing all these things. Yeah, and I'll be wondering what should I be doing. I'll just read and read and read, and sometimes I just lose my mind trying to find what is a mistake I've made. So yeah, I think that answers everything. What is your favorite work of yours? Okay, I just started. I don't have many works to talk about me. Well, I started writing because I was interested, and this has been more like a dream for me to become a writer. And recently I somehow managed to publish a book, a novel, and this novel is, let's say, it's one of my favorite work of mine, since that's the only novel I've published for now, and it's available now. It's available for delivery now. I think you can just buy me. You can contact me if you want to buy me. That's my favorite work. Also, I've been taking part in many anthologies and TSU's Pound of Love. So right now I'm completely concentrated on this episodic story because I want to give out my best in this one. So yeah, so I have two favorite stories, and this is one. Pound of Love is one. Yeah, so you want to know more about the details of characters. Let's talk about characters. Well, the episodic story, Pound of Love, we have many characters, but let's talk about the protagonist, the main character. Let me reveal the name. Her name is Aaliyah, and she is, a very common girl you can find among yourselves or among your friends or anyone. And she's more like a very normal girl who's coming from a very strict background, a very strict family, have very strict parents, and you can imagine what life would be like to come from such a strict family, right? So this is the girl, and there is a guy. They come from totally different backgrounds, okay, and he's completely from another community, and they have been growing up together since they were children, like from a lower primary school. So they grew up together. They are best friends, but at some point Talia and the male lead's name is Derek. So Talia and Derek have a sort of thing that's going on between them. They are more than just friends, but they are friends to others, but they don't know what is going on between them. So at some point something is happening between them. You can find out through the story. So the evolution of these characters from a very young age to the adulthood, and how they handle situations, how these two and the supporting characters, like their best friends and people from their work, to say that Talia has a horticulture. I don't think there are many characters who's from this background, so I wanted to be very unique, so I put this occupation for her. And to talk about Derek is going to be I don't know if I'm revealing too much, but let's just say he's a star. So what happens between a commoner and a star? A superstar. So those are my main characters, and what is going to happen between them. Yeah, I think about these characters you can find out more when you start reading that. So I have just given hints of what should make you more interested in them. Yeah, that answers the question. Then can we expect another hit? Okay, Rosanna, that question, I just released a book like 2 weeks ago. I really hope that it becomes a hit, and I really hope that Amazon lifts its ban and begins to deliver the book everywhere. How would I know if it becomes a hit unless people start buying it? So yeah, I really hope that. And I'm sure I can assure you that Pound of Love is going to be very great, and like any other stories that is going to come in TSU. I really hope that people like it, and I really hope that you all read and support it so that it becomes a hit. Yes, so you have to read it to make it a hit. Yeah. Thank you, Darshana. Thank you so much. That feels really nice. And for you feel relatable. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to bring Talia more like a girl, somebody who's coming from within us, someone from around us, so that you can actually relate with her story. You can actually, feel like you're living like her, or she's one among us, and it's more like portraying some of our stories or the experiences we have in our lives. So that's why I told you about this is not just any love story, that I'm trying to include many things that should be discussed. Are these characters inspired from real life? No, they are not inspired from real life. Honestly, they are not inspired from real life. They just pop in my head, and I want to do that. There is this habit in me that I constantly think about things or what I should be writing about. So sometimes when you do a writing, or when you're into writing something, that's the time that new characters or new type of people pop in your head. So so at that time when you're writing a story, maybe that character won't be suitable for that storyline you're preparing. So you just save that character, and then you just try to give her a complete different storyline, and I think that's how. I don't know if others do that, but that's how it happens to me. Like, character building or developing a character is the most important thing. So when you're writing, it happens. So I think that's how it's created. So you just, if it is something that pops in your head, you just save it there, and you try to find the best storyline for this particular character, and then you just put her in another story. Yeah, that's how actually Talia came to real life too. It's not inspired from real life. It's just a random thought that I had in my mind. Sorry. So I just gave life to her like that. Yeah, that's it. Hello for everyone who joined newly. Shakiba, thank you for joining. Yeah. What are you studying? I'm sorry, I just skipped that question. I didn't say it. Right now, what am I studying? Actually, I finished my BA. I finished my B.Ed. Yeah, I'm about to graduate B.Ed, Bachelor of Education, so I'll be a teacher in the future. And currently, I have enrolled myself to do post-graduation in MA. So I think that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in the phase of completing one and joining for another one, waiting for the results. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I think that answers your question too. Thank you for asking, Baby Towas. Yeah. Why are you always... You are asking me that question actually. Why are you always inclined to romantic genre? To say that? Well, I don't know. I just love stories. Or I'm a very romantic person to say. Like, I do prefer stories that has all this, like, not just love stories, but that has many other aspects that leads to happy endings or, good stories. So to be so inclined to romantic genre, well, doesn't that bring happiness to people? I think it does. Well, it does to me. I have read a lot of books. I do prefer watching love stories. So, and to me, like, since I've read a lot, I've seen a lot of movies that are part of romantic comedy or romance. Well, it comes to me easily. What to say? If it's love story, I can write it instantly. It is very easy for me to think because, maybe I'm like that. So, once it's easy for me, we'll definitely choose that genre to work on, right? So I think that's how I ended up being very inclined to the romantic genre. Yeah, I love that. I just want to be very positive about everything. So I'm also trying to be very positive and write very positive stories. Yeah, I think that answers your question, probably. You know better than that, right? Yeah, that's it. That's my answer for you. So what else? You can hello to everyone who joined newly. And yeah, you can ask me whatever you want about, Hey, hi. Hi, Hiba, for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I know, right? I know that it's very nice to read a story when it's a love story, it's romance. It's very nice. It's cliche or it's uncliched stories. Well, it always has something to teach you. Well, you know, I personally believe that love stories actually give you many tips. You know, dating tips if you want. So you can never say that you can't read a romance. But I do agree that all the genres are very good. You should try everything, but since I write a genre of romance because it's nice to write one and it's easy for me, so I think that yeah, it is very soothing to read a very uncliched love story. If you have ideas and if you have something to tell people, how or whatever that you want to share, yeah. Hello to everyone who joined newly. Yes, half an hour. It's been like 37 minutes since the live joined. I'm so happy. I never thought that I would do live for this much actually, honestly. And thank you so much for joining. It feels really great, you know. I just always imagine what it's like to be a writer. I think this is how it feels like. I feel so happy to be doing this, and so happy to be working with TSU. Remember, the July 10th is going to be the launch day for us. The first edition will be published or released on that day. It is going to be a bi-monthly magazine, and we are going to have plenty of varieties of genres in this magazine for you. We have different things, we have different reviews coming up, so just don't miss it. Just wait, and do remember to buy this, okay? To buy e-magazine, and enjoy reading it. I really hope that you really give it a try. You should experiment more with genres. Well, I agree with that. I really should be experimenting with many genres, but why I am not experimenting right now is, first of all, I just started writing, and second of all, one have to be writing while you're writing. You know what you should be doing? You have to have lots of ideas and background news or knowledge about whatever you're writing. So for me, well, I have like a arts background, and for me to be writing something like I love personally about other genres, but I feel that I don't have much background knowledge about, or not done enough research about other genres. So once I complete doing that, or feel very confident that maybe I can take up a sci-fi, or a horror story, or whatever, a crime, a suspense thriller, if I am to write such stories, after gaining knowledge, I definitely would try. But for now, I write this contemporary romance is because I think I know enough to write this one, and maybe try more in the future. I'll definitely consider suggestion. I will try more. I definitely will try more, and I'm going to do research for that. Yeah. Yes, there is a supporter. There is a supporter. Yeah, you should. Yeah, definitely. I would. I really would. I definitely would try other genres once I gain knowledge enough for that. So I guess you'll have to wait until then, and bear with me for now, for the genre I've chosen right now. Yeah. Yes, I think that's the questions asked so far. I think I've answered everything that's been asked right now. Yeah, yes, thank you for asking all those questions. If you have more, you can ask me. And anybody new who have joined, thank you so much for joining today. This is so great to have all of you here. That question, which is your favorite love story apart from your work? Well, I have a lot of stories that I love personally. Well, to say that what I love the most is which one to say? There's actually a novel. It is a series actually. It's written by Nora Roberts. I don't know if you have read that. The series name is My Kate Brothers. I took that from a public library and read it. Well, actually, it's a very interesting story about the three brothers and their story about their romance and their life, their work, and their families, and how they get along, everything. So this is one story I love, and there is another one, 2 by 2. I actually borrowed that book from my best friend and read it. It is actually a very, very good novel. You know what? You should definitely give it a try. It is written by Nicholas Sparks. 2 by 2. It is pretty popular, and these are the 2 favorite stories that I have. I just randomly picked. I have lots of favorites, but these 2 are the favorite ones that I have. Yeah. So I guess I do hope that you give it a try. You try to everything I suggested right now. You'll like it because the story is very deep. 2 by 2 is a very deep, meaningful story, and it will really entertain you as well as make you cry at times. So yeah, you know what? I used to have a habit of reading tragic stories. I really used to enjoy that, but the more I read it, I thought that maybe, oh my god, this is so tragic that I should stop reading such things. So I took a break from tragic endings, and I started trying some positive, happy ending stories too. So yes. That's that. Thank you everyone who just joined. Hello, welcome to my live. This is the first time I'm doing a live, but the second time for TSU. So I really hope that you're doing good today and having a great Sunday, and thank you for joining this session. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm one of the writers of TSU, and I'm going to have a story published in TSU. The story is Pound of Love, and if you have anything to ask me related to that or my writing, you can ask me now. And the magazine is going to be released on July 10th. It's a bi-monthly magazine, and it is the first ever magazine being published concentrating for teenagers, and I hope that you all enjoy this from July 10th. Stay tuned everyone. Yeah. Hey Tesna, hey Jeffy, hey Darshana. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for having me here, and it is really an honor to be working with TSU and to see all of you here. If you have any questions, you can ask, or yeah, that's it. No more questions. Yeah, that's it. I guess we have had enough chat. I think I answered all the questions today. Well, we have some more time. If you want to ask me, you can ask, or we'll just conclude this live session. I hope you all got the answers correctly and clear the doubts about my writing. And if you want to know more, you can ask me. And yeah, I really hope that TSU and people who are working so hard behind this, that we all get to achieve our dreams and become successful in the paths we have chosen. And we all need your support, and we all need your strength, and you know, what to say, yeah, the immense support and love from all of you, so that we become a success and we are able to bring such a great work to all of you. So I hope that you all will be supporting us throughout. Have you tried any other language? Honestly, no. I do know languages apart from English, like Malayalam, but I am not that confident to write in Malayalam. I just have barely written anything in Malayalam, and for other languages to write, no, I'm not. I've never tried, or I've never been interested in that. I think English is the only thing that I've learned and have tried writing. So I do like to try sometimes in future, but right now I'm only writing in English because I think that's pretty easy for me to do, or come up with stories in English rather than other languages. I don't know any other way to write dramatically in other languages or my native language, so I've never tried them. No. That's it. I think all the questions have been answered. Thank you for wishing. Thank you for wishing us, Darshana. That means a lot. It means really a lot. Yeah, I do believe that we do good, and also we need all supports for the other writers too, and they'll be doing more live sessions here and doing more poster reveals, cover reveals, and trailers. More trailers are going to come up, and I'm very excited, and I hope you are all excited to know more about TSU and the works we are going to present to you forward. Yeah, so do suggest this to everyone. Do let people know around you about TSU and all the stories that are going to come. Do remember to buy this. We are going to launch on July 10th. So I guess that's it. I think we have talked and yeah, answered all the questions. So yeah, that's it for today. I think I'll wind up my live for today. I hope all you had a good time. I really had a good time. I really had a wonderful time answering everything. So I do understand that this is going to be really great, and I hope this will be great. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining the live. Yeah, let's wait for July 10th. It is going to be amazing. So thank you TSU for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all for attending the live today. Thank you. I'm ending this, so bye bye.